Who is your dream label, and what kind of situation would be like a dream situation for you?
Yeah, I don't have a dream label, bro. Because labels are really just like, they're not really what people think they are. They're just kind of like a bank that lends you money, and a record deal is like a big credit card. But the best label that I've met with is Columbia Records, and when they gave me a tour through their office, they had a huge wall that had like Beyonce on it, Adele, Johnny Cash, like the Rolling Stones, just crazy legends, Bob Dylan, just to name a few. And it was like super intimidating, but also very inspiring. And I liked Republic Records too. That was Amy Winehouse's label that she was with.
Okay.
But yeah, I've met with Columbia, Atlantic, Warner, Interscope, and I feel like I'm missing one, but Hollywood Records. I also met with them, and yeah, Columbia is my favorite out of all those. And my ideal situation would be just to, get that credit card. Not, you know what I'm saying? Just those funds to do what I've been wanting to do, like shoot a really professional video, multiple videos, get even a song professionally mixed. A lot of people don't know, but a lot of the stuff I put out is from like a living room or just like a $200 mic, and it would just be dope to use that money to invest in myself to get my product just like really banging. So that's what I would want a label for, because I don't have a bunch of organic fans on my own, and like the old school way that labels used to operate is to find someone just based on pure talent, look, and music, and then build them up from the ground. And that's kind of the approach that my management and me are looking to do, because it's just such a different type of situation that I'm in. So
okay, that makes sense. So would you ever think about like just being independent, or is
yeah, I mean, I'm independent right now as we speak, but it's like I still bust tables, bro, to be honest with you, and I still work like a bunch of weird little jobs to make money, and the label would allow me to quit those jobs and focus 100% on music. So that's really like the main reason why I would want to do that right now, because I'm just in the restaurant like 5 days a week, and it's just very time consuming. And I wish I could be independent and just pop it. I wish I had that hit record right now, and that these labels were all coming back to me like, yo, like, please sign with us, not us trying to get a situation. That's the most ideal thing, is to have like a really popping record, follow up with a great album, and then get all that shit back on your own. So yeah, man, independent, that's the way to go for anybody.
Yeah, if I guess if you can afford to do it and afford to do it full time.
Yeah, and a lot of people that have independently made it have had plenty of money shoveled to them from one way or another, either a rich relative, an investor, a manager that had money, or like an independent label, but still somebody that they're gonna have to pay back. But like a lot of these independent artists have definitely had help along the way. So
all right, how would you say, how crucial is SoundCloud, do you think, to the music business as it stands, and to up and coming artists and artists such as yourself?
I mean, you met me through SoundCloud, bro, so this interview wouldn't be happening. And dude, I think SoundCloud is one of the best platforms right now for artists, but it just got bought by Universal, and not a lot of people know that. Universal Music Group, who owns all the young separate entities, they did a deal with SoundCloud to where they can now monetize it, and you know,
Oh,
I think it's gonna change, bro.
you know what? I think it has already because they just did the SoundCloud Go thing, and you have to pay for some songs now.
Yeah, so there you go. I think it's gonna, the organic feel to SoundCloud and the freedom of SoundCloud is gonna change, bro. And I don't mean to like throw any shade on Universal or anything. They found a great platform, and now they're gonna monitor it and find artists off of it.
Wow.
It's just now gonna be less organic. So, but for me, SoundCloud was a great start, and I'm looking forward to the next thing that pops up, dude.
I'm really glad you told me that. Dang, that.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. Yep, they definitely did that.
Well, how do you see the role of the label changing in the future? Because now you've got huge channels on YouTube like Majestic Casual or like a Suicide Sheep who can literally make an artist in a day just by posting one of their songs. So does that put pressure on the record label to kind of change their formula, like kind of adapt with the times, or even potentially put them out of business?
Dude, the record labels are definitely threatened by the fact that kids can record their own music, put it out that day, and there's people with huge followings that can just promote them. Like, they're definitely threatened, dude. Like, and that's why labels are making less and less money. Like, it's really the live touring companies like Live Nation who are like have the upper hand because they put on big concert promotions and stuff like that. So labels are definitely threatened. They're not like, to get a record deal these days, bro, is like either your deal is gonna be super bad or someone's really gonna believe in you, but it's like the chances of you getting signed to a record label are like super small these days. But because like, okay, so for example, Designer, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know Designer.
Yeah.
He found a beat off SoundClick, paid the dude $25 for like the exclusive rights, put it out, it became the #1 song in the world. He didn't do that with a label, and that's just an example of what can happen. So it's like labels aren't even a necessity right now. Like,
I didn't even know that. You talking about Panda?
Yeah, Panda. That the dude's name is Designer. The people that say he sounds like Future.
I thought it was Future at first.
Yeah, everybody did, and that kid's 18 years old, bro, and he's actually never been to Atlanta.
That's funny.
Yeah, he has broads in Atlanta, though. Yeah, but that's an example, though. And you know Kanye just signed him to Good Music.
I don't know why, but okay.
Yeah, I don't know why either. I took a meeting at Kanye's studio one day, and I met like a few of his people, and I feel like, dude, people are just gonna sign whatever they think is hot, dude. Like, straight up. So.
Yes.
Record labels are definitely in jeopardy, but it's still possible for a record label to assemble their team and do a beautiful job of putting an artist out, running them through the radios, putting them on somebody's tour to open up to get exposure. There's a lot of strings a major label can pull that an independent YouTube channel can't, and vice versa, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting thing. You brought up radio. I think radio could be dead very soon because most people listen to the radio in their cars, and I could see, you know, with the invention of the aux cable, like Bluetooth streaming, like people don't want to listen to commercials and stuff. They just want to listen to their own music. And so if they're not listening to the radio anymore, I mean, that's a whole nother platform that could be dead. And that's why I decided to even like start this YouTube channel, is because I see big things for YouTube. First of all, 60% of the world doesn't even have internet access. So imagine when there's internet access, you know, and YouTube being the #2 search engine in the world.
Behind Google?
Yeah, exactly. So it can only go up from there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely see, you know, something big happening in the future.
Yeah, man.
Change-wise.
That's definitely a good point. I feel like there definitely are a lot of people that still play the radio, though. Like people who probably the older generation. Like, you know, some people just like I told you I worked at that warehouse, and the whole time, every day, there was a radio being played. And I feel like in certain scenarios, radio isn't completely dead, but YouTube is definitely YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, like Tidal or whatever it is. All that stuff is like the new wave, pretty much, man.
Well, I mean, it's not too far. It's not too far fetched to think that whole cities could have Wi-Fi, and then people would just be using the internet for different stuff. So there'd be more choices to what you want to listen to.
Yeah.
Which I like. I'm always a fan of everyone having the choice of what you want to listen to.
That's true. I agree with that one.
Okay. Well, last question we have here. What could you say to some up and coming artists? Some artists that are like a lot smaller than you. They have a dream of wanting to pursue music, and what would you say to them?
I would say just believe in yourself. If you think you really have something, do that, and don't like just assume that you need to have like a backup plan or something that's going to distract you from what you really feel in your heart you should do. Secondly, make sure that thing is like not too far-fetched. Like, ask your mom or your homeboys, like, is this shit good? Like, or have people tell you organically, like, it has to actually make sense for you to take the next step. The third thing is self-promote. That's what I wish somebody would have told me more. Just self-promote. Don't get too caught up if something sounds good enough or perfect or mixed and mastered. Like, most of the time, if it's from the heart and it's sonically like, good enough, it'll just do whatever it's meant to do on its own. And just 5, be humble. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, these gifts can be given and taken, just as quickly. So just be humble and, stay consistent and working. And that's pretty much all the advice I would tell somebody.
Aldae, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. And P, she's a little, diva. She's trying to become a celebrity. Working on her mixtape right now.
I can see it happening, man. 9 Lives. I like that.
Appreciate it, bro. I really appreciate your time, man.
Oh, no problem.
Going on. I'm like, how is any work getting done in here? I walk in and game, like, immediately, like, I open the door and he's like, damn, who's this fly ass fucking white boy? Just, like, yeah, it made me feel comfortable, like, from the get-go. I was like, all right.